You hear me okay?
I hear you.
Okay, awesome. Okay. Hey guys, welcome to Button Adventures, fitness, boxing, and farming goat therapy. With all the constant confusion in the mainstream media about what a healthy lifestyle is like, our main goal here at Button Adventures is about making health fun and easy for you. I'm Coach Lita, and I have a Bachelor of Sciences in Nursing with experience in geriatric and mental health nursing. My boxing career consisted of 45 amateur boxing fights, winning the Canadian light welterweight Golden Glove Championship in 2013, and a record of 1-1 as a professional fighter. In 2017, I was voted FAB Female Health and Wellness Entrepreneur of the Year in Greater Toronto Area. Now, as a coach full time for the last 8+ years and a proud goat mom of 11, yes, 11 Nigerian dwarf goats, I specialize in animal therapy, coaching women and people with Parkinson's, helping them find their inner athlete and move beyond perceived limitations through the sport of boxing so that they can keep up with their kids and grandkids pain free. So, welcome to the weekly GOAT blog. Why GOAT, you may ask? Well, I grew up on a 300-acre farm with cows and horses, and there is huge and hard to maintain and not very fun to clean up after. Kind of like the information overload in society about what is healthy and not healthy. Goats, however, are small, little, tiny lumps of kind of like puppet turds, making it easy to clean up and fertilize your garden with. Then, as a boxer and a fighter with 45 amateur fights and 1-1 as professional, when I train and visualize my success, on my mind, I was always the GOATs, the greatest of all time. When you box to be a winner, you got to tap into this mentality. But being a GOAT does not mean you have to get into a ring and fight. It's about using the tips from this GOAT blog to sprinkle inspiration, motivation, and insight to use in your own life. So that's my goal here with Button Adventures, to give you that digestible fertilizer to grow your own greatest of all time mindset. So make sure you hit our like and follow button on Instagram and Facebook and smash that subscribe button on YouTube. So today we have special guest, Taveena, Koo, also known to myself as Tuffy and the boxing community as Tuffy, because that was her nickname when she was boxing. So Taveena is a certified boxing coach and official, certified in NCCP, coaching athletes with a disability and coaching athletes with Down syndrome. She has 15 years of competitive boxing experience, holding the title of 4-time provincial champion and 2-time Canadian national champion, woo woo, with many other prestigious boxing accolades. Taveena is a former member of the Canadian national boxing team and represented Canada on the international stage. Additionally, Tina was a former Guyanese national boxing team member, earning her spot at the 2020 Tokyo Olympic trials. Woohoo! Professionally, Taveena works at the school board and volunteers as a high school wrestling coach. Certified in special education since 2005, she has her degree in early childhood education, educational assistance, and resource teaching. She emphasizes the importance of education and sports. Very important. Passionate about merging her expertise, Taveena founded the Fierce and Fit Special Needs Charitable Organization, serving as a founder and executive director. The organization focuses on her Fierce and Fit Special Needs boxing program, designed to address the social, emotional, and physical needs of individuals with special needs. And her goal is to create an inclusive environment, particularly for youth and adults with physical or developmental disabilities. Taveena demonstrates the healing power of boxing through her clients, drawing on her international boxing experience, educational background, and personal life journey. Taveena leads with empathy and passion, sharing the benefits of boxing in an inclusive and empowering setting. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thank
Oh my
you.
goodness, been a bit since we've seen each other and been
Roommate,
in the
roommate
boxing
at
room.
ringside. World Championships.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And then at nationals, I forget which nationals that was now. Oh my gosh, it was a bit
Oh,
ago.
yes, right. I think that was 2013 Nationals.
Was it 2013? Yeah, in Regina, right? In
Yes,
Regina? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Yeah.
was a bit ago. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us here today, Tuffy. I'm going to call you Tuffy because it's hard for me not to.
For sure. A lot of people know me as Tuffy. So I had that name since birth. My mom gave it to me.
Ah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
And
really
then
cool. I didn't know that.
it was during boxing when I started to go by the name Taveena. So I know it
Ah,
sounds the opposite, but I was only Tuffy before. And then when it came to boxing, Rick Cadilla called me Taveena. And then that's
yeah.
when, yeah. Yeah.
Huh. All right. There you go. Boxing community. We learned something new. Okay, so can you let us know why you do what you do? Because what you do is really, really powerful and impactful. Like, if I want to smile to my face, I just go to your social media page with what you're
Right.
doing with Fierce and Fit.
Oh, well, thank you. Like the reason why I do what I do is because I was able to put my two specialties together. So I am experienced with working with people who have special needs, and then I'm also experienced in boxing. And I put the two together, and that's exactly why I got into what I do and why I continue to do what I do is because it makes me happy. These
Nice.
guys bring me so much joy. Training with them virtually, in person, doing social activities, anything and everything. It gives me purpose and it makes me feel like I belong. It makes me feel powerful. So that's why I do what I do.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's amazing. A passion shines through everything that you talk about and you promote in that with it. So thank you for going a little bit deeper on that concept. So is there some misconceptions about what people think about what you do?
Um, yes. So people might think that it's pretty easy to run a charity or a nonprofit, but there's a lot that goes into it. So there's a lot of people who want to start nonprofits, but very few are successful at it. And there are even more few that are successful at getting charitable status. So only a fraction of nonprofits will actually turn into a registered charity recognized by the Canada Revenue Agency. And it's not easy, but it's worth it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
My understanding is that um, there's a board and everything that has to be implemented.
Yes. So if it wasn't for
Yeah.
me getting connected and meeting such a great group of people, I wouldn't have been able to do what I do. So right now what I have is so should I tell a little bit about like my history?
Yeah, please let us know the story about how it came about. Like, was so for me, the rock steady boxing, like working with Parkinson's, I wanted to combine my nursing and I wanted to combine my boxing because I'd let my nursing go. And then they were looking for a coach. So it's like it literally walked in the door. So please let us know
I,
how.
I followed your YouTube story about the Parkinson's boxing.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I loved it. It was
Thank you.
inspiring. And actually, when I was starting to get involved in all this, that's when I was searching and I found your stuff. So you were part of part of my motivation and inspiration to continue
Aw.
doing it.
That's amazing. Well, that's part of the reason why I do what I do because we need to, especially those of us that are on a kind of in a leading position, we need to find the inspiration and motivation from others doing similar things that we do, right? So thank you for sharing that.
No
So
problem.
so how did it come together, the Fierce and Fit boxing? Like,
Um, so I didn't grow up with much. I wasn't in any sports or anything because every sport costs money to participate in school, except for wrestling only costs $10 and there's no cuts. So everyone makes the team. So wrestling was my first sport that I ever did, and I loved it. Um, I was actually super good at it, and I didn't realize it. I have an older brother who I would wrestle with a lot, so got in there and it was just easy. And then after high school was over, I was looking for something else to get into. And me and my friend Natasha, we stumbled upon a nonprofit gym. And I went in there and I did a couple sessions just because it was 3 free first sessions and then I left. And then the coach, he contacted me and he's like, "Well, why didn't you come back? Like you're good. We like don't leave." I'm like, "Well, I can't afford it." He's like, "That's okay. Just clean up around the gym and you can just come train here." I was like, "Okay." So, because it was a nonprofit, I was able to give my services and volunteer my time and then I was able to train. And he's like, "If you're training here, I want you fighting." Okay. I never
Yeah.
saw myself as a so I did it and I lost my first 3 fights, but then on my fourth fight, I gave it my all and I was like, if I'm going for this, I'm giving all of myself. And I did, and I won. And then it just kept going and going and going after that. Like I said, I didn't have much money. I always wanted to travel the world, and I knew that boxing kind of opened that door and that opportunity. So I gave it my all and I was like, I need to make the national team. So I ended up earning my spot on the national team. I
Yep.
went to international tournaments and um I ended up getting I ended up getting a concussion and I stepped away from fighting after in 2016. And then that's when I met my friend Talisa. So because I had a concussion and I was like, you know what, I want to change my career path and everything too. So I went from ECE to EA and I went so kindergarten to high school.
Okay.
And it was really intimidating. And then this one girl, she befriended me and she has Down syndrome. And we just became such good friends. And she figured out how to spell my name. And then she kept going on YouTube and looking me up. And her parents saw that I was a boxer and kept watching all my fights. And then I got a call from her mom the one day, and it was like, so my daughter keeps like following you on YouTube. Do you think that you'd be able to teach her how to box? Like, as she's getting really into this. And I don't know. I guess. Like, I went from being an athlete and then now being asked to
Coaching.
coach. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll try it. So I brought her to the gym and we trained together. And I posted a few videos, and then her friend saw it and then asked to join and come train with us. And then there was like a group of 5 of us. We trained together for 3, 4 years, and then the 2020 Olympics rolls around, and I get an email
Mhm.
from Guyana asking if I can represent them at the Tokyo Olympics. So I got my passport, got everything in line, and then I'm about to go to Argentina, got my ticket booked, got my accommodation, everything, and then poof, COVID hits.
Yeah.
I was away at a training camp and I got that email. I was like, it's not real. This is a lie. And then I went out to dinner that night and somebody's saying, oh, the basketball team got canceled. Did you hear that there's a world pandemic? And I'm like, oh my God, it's actually real. Like, this wasn't a fake email. So like, and then the world shut down. So my dreams got put on hold, and then I came back to Canada and I trained with my friends virtually. Um, and then more kids and more kids wanted to join. And before I knew it, there's like 50 of us on this tiny screen training together. And then they allowed for people to gather and meet together only outside. And so
Yeah.
our first boxing session was actually here at my house in the backyard. And it was incredible. So, oh yeah, I also forgot to mention, um, the reasoning why we were able to grow is because of
Yeah.
our volunteers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we had this girl Bronwyn, we had Sam, we had a couple of people from my boxing, James, um, Joe, like they came and they volunteered. And that's why I was able to have more people at once because I can't just do it just with me. And then we turned into a registered nonprofit at first. Oh, let me turn that off. Yeah, a registered nonprofit at first. And it's because we met I say I met an amazing group of people to be on my board of executives. So with that board of executives, we were able to turn it into a registered nonprofit, do all the documentation, get the lawyers, and our parents, the parents on our team are so supportive. One of the parents reached out and was like, you know what? I think you guys need some shirts. So actually, these boxing shirts were
Yay.
donated by one of the parents. That's when we officially became from just like a group of people training together to an
Yeah.
official team. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the whole
I love it.
program is amazing because of everyone who's a part of it. So nothing can happen. Nothing, well, things can start on your own, but nothing
Yeah.
can grow without a team.
Yeah.
So the whole,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Teamwork makes the dream work.
it really does.
Yeah.
And so I think
Beautiful.
that all of my past history with my boxing and with my education in special education, it just comes together. Like when you're growing up
Yeah.
as a kid and you think, oh my goodness, I need to know what I'm going to do with my life. No, you don't. You just have to have an idea of the direction you want to go. And it can
Yeah.
go any which way. But if I saw myself, if I went back to high school, I would not think, wow, I'm the founder of a special needs charity. I always knew that I wanted to be an inspiration. So when I was
Yeah.
fighting, that's what I wanted to do. I always wanted to inspire others who are looking to follow in my footsteps. I'm like 18 years old saying this, but I'm already following in other people's footsteps, but
Yeah.
I already had the mindset of what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how it would come about, but I just always had faith and yeah, it's hard, but it happens. Life,
That's beautiful.
life
So I love that you kind of touched
question.
on faith because
I just started going and going. So I hope that
yeah.
answered the
Yeah, no, there's
question.
just it's your journey and your story and what sometimes things happen in life where it's just like you pointed out like you don't need to know like what you want to do, but you need to kind of know what direction, right? So having that um, kind of direction gave that spark of the universe or whoever you want to be say help kind of bring it together for you. So which is really kind of cool because
I wanted high school phys ed gym teacher. That's what I wanted to do.
ah okay. And look at the impact that you're doing now. That's so good. Okay. Um, what kind of fuels your continuous faith and motivation to keep doing this on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis?
Um, it's the people.
Hmm.
So it's yeah. So they are like just yesterday was our first day getting back together after the Christmas holidays. And it was so incredible just even stepping through those doors, the feeling that comes over. Like I'm like, you guys are my medicine. They they literally are my medicine to just keep going and they make me feel so good. So that's what
Yeah.
fuels me is just their positivity. So no matter what I have going on in my life, when I look at them or anyone, first of all, the volunteers. I look at the volunteers and I think, holy crap, you went like they're working all day long and have their own problems and put them aside to come give their time. Like volunteers don't work, like they're not free workers, they're priceless
Yeah.
because like they're like everything that they give, it's amazing. Yesterday, we just had a brand new volunteer come in. It was her first day, so she's a retired EA. I saw her at a yoga class and I asked her, I'm like, hey, do you want to come? If you still want to get involved with the special needs community, come out to our program. She came, and before I even got to introduce her to everyone as the new volunteer, she's already helping people. And I'm like, oh my
Aw,
goodness, this is so amazing. Yeah. She knows nothing about boxing. So anyone out there who's looking to volunteer, give back to the community, like you don't need to know anything about boxing. All you need to have is a passion to help. That's
yes,
all.
yes. That's beautiful. And that's, for those of us that are in the boxing community, we always like say, and we refer to, like, we know boxing saves lives, but that's, it's not about having to be like literally a contact person taking. It's about the community and the support that it gives,
It truly
and
is. Like
yeah.
it's a whole big community. So like for those who can't give their time, they sponsor financially or even giving their experiences. So, like my nephew, he is so good with creating things. And I'm like, can you turn this into a fillable PDF for me? And he just does it instantly. Some
Aw,
other, like I said, of the parents who are busy parents, they donate funds, they donate shirts, different organizations. So 100 Men Who Give a Damn, it's a local charity here in Kitchener, and we just got to be one of the recipients. So it's 100 men who donate $100. So then that's $10,000. And
wow,
that
that's
just
really
goes to show,
cool.
yeah, like when people come together, you can make a huge impact. So because of
Yeah,
them, we were able to allow 7 more people to come join our program and benefit from all of our services. So yeah, so
yeah,
every single person, our board members, our volunteers, our sponsors, everything, it takes a whole community, and they're all part of boxing. Even if they're
yeah,
not getting in there to fight, if they're not getting in there to punch anyone, they're still part of a boxing community.
yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for pointing out all the different. I love 100 men. What is it? 100 men that. What was
100
your
Men
one
Who Give a
sponsor?
Damn. That's
100 men who give a damn.
pardon?
A
Yeah.
hundred men
That's
who
the,
give a damn. Yeah,
I know.
that's so cool. So, what have been your three toughest obstacles to reaching your goals with fierce and fit boxing?
Uh, Um, so I think that like in my whole career, I think it's been financial and my learning disability. And um I wrote that question down where it's, oh, and my reaching charitable status and physical injuries. So what I mean by financial is, like I said, I didn't grow up in a house with lots of funds. So our socioeconomic status was pretty low, and being able to get involved in sports in the first place and being able to join a team. So I started at that nonprofit boxing gym, and then having to work full time while training, while going to school. So all 3 of those. And also on top of that, having a learning disability. So I have dyslexia. So it's really challenging to navigate the world. Um, okay. Yeah, but
Yeah, good time.
I figure out ways. Like that's life. Like if you want something, you have to figure out how to get it.
Yeah.
So, the next biggest obstacle is um the charitable status. So becoming a registered charity was a lot of work, and only a fraction of the nonprofits actually make it to that status. So now we're recognized by
Hmm.
the CRA. revenue agency and able to give charitable tax receipts. And so if people want to help our program, we're able to give them government proof, which helps them get a little bit of break on their income tax time.
Yeah.
Not too much, but at least it's something.
Yeah.
Um, and then the next one is my physical injuries. So
Yeah.
that's a big obstacle is concussions. So going for the 2020 Olympics, during training, I suffered a concussion and I healed from it and I was back to work. And at work, I suffered a very severe concussion while I was at work, and since then, and having to maneuver and continue with running the program, working, and just living life. It's quite stressful with my post-concussion syndrome. So it's been a while. So that's one of my biggest obstacles. I wake up every day not knowing how I'm going to feel. One moment to the next, it's like I'm great. And then I walk into a room and all of a sudden, poof, it just hits me. I have light
Yeah.
sensitivity, noise sensitivity. When I increase my heart rate or my cardiovascular, I run out of battery really fast. Yeah, so those three have been my biggest obstacles in journey in life.
Yeah. Yeah. And yet you're still plugging forwards and doing it. So that's absolutely like a testament to your strength, and determination and mindset.
And I and like I said, this whole group of people that I have around me are what help motivate me because they also are going through so much. The one girl, she's been in and out of the hospital on life support 3 times within the last 3 years. And
Oh,
she
wow.
just went back to work. Just went back to work 2 days ago and then I follow her on social media and she's like, quick update. Today went great. Everyone missed me. So these special needs people are so positive in every single aspect of their life. And like I said, it gives me motivation to just keep going no matter what I'm going through physically or personally.
Yeah. Yeah. The positive energy is how we grow and how we nurture and how we light up. So that's really great that you're articulating the exact examples of how that's happening. Um, I do want to apologize for anyone who's watching live here because like I don't know if it's my internet here or what, but for some reason it's lagging a little bit. So please let me know if there's
I
any
think it might be
questions in that. Say that again.
I think it's my internet too.
Is it? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
keep getting a thing on my computer
pops
that
up. Yeah.
says bad connection.
It's just weird. I've never had this issue before on the internet service that I have. So it's all good. The show must go on.
Woohoo!
So after the obstacles, is there been highlights, like extreme highlights of your career, that you would like to
Um,
share?
yeah. So for boxing, my highlights are um the 2013 Nationals, the one where I was with you.
We were roommates, yeah.
Um, yes, I won Nationals
Yeah.
and I won most outstanding female boxer of the tournament. So that
Yeah.
was a pretty big highlight. Uh, and then winning silver at the Women's Continental Championships in Mexico. That was pretty huge. And standing up there on the podium when the flag starts rising, and it was my birthday and I trained so hard for that tournament. I actually had a sprained ankle and I nobody knew. But I had a sprained ankle and I won second place. I lost to Mexico in the finals in Mexico. I
Yeah.
was very happy with my performance.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
boxing is subjective, and that's all I have to say.
Yeah. Thank you for highlighting that, because for those, it's like when we're training people, it's like you don't want to try not to, as coaches, you always try to say don't want to leave it to the judges. But these are the things that
Yeah.
happen with gymnastics, with boxing, these kinds of judge sports, right?
So
You do your best, but yeah, at the end of the
even
day,
though
if
I
you're
got
happy with your
silver,
performance, yeah,
exactly. It's all about being happy with your performance. And that was one of my most proudest moments.
yeah,
Um, and also being selected to have my second shot at the Olympics for 2020 Tokyo. That was
yeah.
a very proud moment, and before the world crashed and derailed all my dreams. They just put my dreams in a different direction.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
when it comes to the charity, when it comes to the registered charity, my three highlights are like over the world pandemic, the virtual training, and when we got all those members, and when the parents, um, the one parent got us all of our boxing shirts. That
shirts,
was a huge
yeah.
highlight.
I love it. I love it.
And reaching reaching charitable status. That was another big highlight. And then the other highlight is um, getting our first government grant. So those are our
Yeah.
three highlights. Yeah.
So like the elation that must have happened. Did when you got your government grant, did you have like a heads up about it, or like was it just kind of unexpected?
Oh, no, we've tried to apply for like not a million, maybe like 20.
Yeah.
Like applying for government grants is a lot of work and
Yeah.
a lot of denials. So you put in
Yeah.
hours and hours of answering these questions, writing these essays, and trying to explain what you do. And then you get the email back saying, sorry, denied. Sorry, denied. Better luck next time. But
Yeah.
we got an email back saying you have officially like you are a recipient of the what was it called? The name of the grant. It's called Canadian Red Cross Community Services Recovery Fund, to starting
Oh,
a volunteer management recruitment and development program. So because they
wow.
saw what we do, they want they want us to be able to get more people in the community involved. So
Yeah,
that's what the grant is for.
that's
Yeah.
beautiful. That's really, really awesome. And that's giving back to the community tenfold. But
Thanks.
yeah. So is
Thank you.
there a definition of success that you have had in terms of, like from your boxing career going into this not-for-profit? Like, is there a definition that you kind of outline for yourself, or that do you feel like it's changed since the last few years?
Um, well, I actually going into we had an annual charity concert last year and this year. And actually the night before the concert, I was talking to my friend and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so nervous to go up and speak in front of everyone because there's going to be so many people there. So because of my post-concussion syndrome, I've developed social anxiety. And
Hmm.
I was so nervous to go up there in front of everyone because there's going to be lights, there's going to be noise. And my friend told me, she's like, well, it sounds like you're having the same nerves as you did preparing for the Olympic trials. And I was like, oh my God, I think you're right. So that was my first epiphany where I realized that the passion that I have for this nonprofit charity is the same passion that I had for going for the Olympics, which was my everything in my life, and my definition of success was competing in the Olympics. And
Yeah.
I now have that same definition for the registered charity, and it's my passion. And when you're nervous about something going into it, no matter like with boxing, how we just said it was subjective, no matter if you win or you lose, if you gave it your all, you're successful.
Yeah.
So I think like that was my epiphany of realizing, wow, I believe in, like, I have so much passion, just as much for this registered charity as I did for going for the Olympics. And yeah, so the definition of success
Awesome.
is being happy with what you are doing, no matter if you win or
Yeah.
lose. Well, if you've given it your all, you have no regrets. That's
Yeah.
not actually what
Yeah.
I wrote down for my answer,
No, it's okay.
but
I just thought
that
it.
it sounds pretty good. Hmm.
Yeah, no, it's giving your all. So, I was saying to last week's guest, Ginny McConnell, it's like, we were talking before a little bit before going live. She's like, you've had quite the life. And I was like, yeah, I really started to, when I was working in long-term care and geriatric mental health, you're seeing people at their end stages of life. And I said, those who were happiest and were ready to pass on were those that had no regrets. They
Yeah,
lived their life with their passion and with their love and what it is that they felt. And it's like, oh, like, okay, if I look ahead in my life and I'm 80, 90, 100, whatever it may be, you live to, ideally, knock on wood. If you give it your all and you're passionate about what you do, you're not gonna have any regrets, if God forbid you should pass away, because I mean, this is highlighted a lot, especially in the last like 4 years. It could just be sudden, you know? So
that's
if you're doing it every day. So that's a beautiful definition of success, Tubby. Like, incredible.
my
Because
actual thing I wrote. I looked up, I'm like, hey, Google, what does success mean? And Google said that actual definition of success is accomplishing. Oh, it's actually saying it to me right now. Success is the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. And then I was like, my aim is to create an inclusive environment for all. My purpose is to use my two specialties together. So that's a boring
yeah.
answer. But
It's relative. It's subjective, like judging, right?
no,
Okay, so
I'm
where do you
very
see,
literal person.
sorry, just cut out there.
I know. Keep kidding.
Do you have
I
a
can't wait to
specific
watch
way
this
that,
back again to see if it's lagging. And I'm like,
or the faces that you get when it's like, that part's the best. I'm like, oh, I look sexy there. Not really.
what did you
Okay.
say?
I so like, because when you're looking back through things and you're studying and to improve yourself, and sometimes the faces that you make, you're like, oh, I look really good there, like really sexy. Let's take a screenshot of that. So do you have a specific vision that you see for yourself over the next few years, like in terms of you've started this program, like are you wanting to make it expand it, like go national wise, or are you keeping it locally, or like what's the kind of vision that you have for it in terms of moving forwards?
Mm, so the vision is to eventually, like, visions might change. They might change just like anything else in life, the path, the career. But the goal was always to eventually get our own facility where we can have our boxing ring with the Fierce and Fit logo on it.
Yeah.
Um, and be able to offer different programs throughout the day, because a lot of special needs people, once they're finished high school, like they're allowed to be in high school for 7 years, so until the age of 21, and then you're just out there. Like a lot of the parents are like, well, what do I do with my kids now?
Yeah.
Um, what kind of jobs are they going to get? What kind of programs are they going to be in? So I would love to run different day programs for those who need it. I'd love to offer jobs to special needs people who are capable
Yeah.
and competent enough to run different jobs. So I want to have a community of special needs
Beautiful.
and a community of other people who are passionate about working with special needs. And I want to have an entire boxing community of special needs. That's what I would love
Nice.
to do in the future. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
gonna
love,
it's gonna happen.
yeah, definitely.
So is there three pieces of advice or wisdom that you would like to share with others to sprinkle a little bit of that goat mindset of mentality into their own lives based on your own journey?
GOAT, greatest of all time. That, yeah. Okay. And then the quote is with the W, greatest
The
woman
woman.
of all.
Yeah. I have a
Um,
little tiny goat, Clarissa. She's named after Clarissa Shields.
yes. Oh, what
Goat. Yeah.
you? Clarissa.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
I remember before Clarissa turned pro, Canada and US used to always kind of be partners. Like everybody thinks of Canada and US as rivals. No, when it came to the boxing community, the boxing world, when we traveled for international tournaments, Canada and US were always teammates. We were always
Yeah.
partners. And then there's the other countries, but then Canada and US. So Clarissa Shields was on Team USA and I was on Team Canada. And I remember trying to make weight the night before one of my fights. All my Canadian team members I don't know where they were, but Clarissa's like, hey, you know what? I'll go with you. So me and her
Yeah.
went to the treadmill and she just hung out on the side of the treadmill while I was running in my sauna suit. She's like, I've never seen somebody smile so much trying to drop weight. And I'm like, who cares? Because I didn't care. I knew I'd make it anyways. My weight, like I was pretty lucky because I could weigh like 10, well, it's a lot of water weight.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
And
for
then 'cause
sure.
I'm a big eater, a really big, well, I used to be when I was fighting. So I would eat a lot and then by the end of that day, I drop it all off. And people would be like, what? Oh my God, how did you drop this much pound? Like, I weigh this much after eating my meal. And then by the time I wake up in the morning, I'm this weight. It just
Yeah.
happens. I don't
Yeah.
know. Everyone's
Yeah.
body's different.
And for that,
Anyways,
for
that
those
was
of you
my one
that
little
you used to fight at 50, is it 53 kilos? So for those of you, because like not everybody knows
48,
your, like, yeah. So that's 105 pounds, if I remember correctly, my conversion.
105.8. Yep,
Yeah.
100.8. That point 0.8 makes a big difference.
It does. When you're stepping on that scale, it certainly does. So
You know.
is there any three things that you would like to share of wisdom or insights that you would like to
Oh,
in terms
yes.
of
So,
going after?
choose to go after something that you love. So if you're going for something that you're passionate about and that makes you happy, you're more likely to succeed because you're more likely to give it your all and be happy while you're doing it. So that's definitely something to pass on. And next one is surround yourself with a positive team. Like,
Hmm.
um, but like people who are going to motivate you, people who are have similar interests or similar goals, or even people who are better than you. You want to surround
Yeah.
yourself with those who can inspire and uplift you. Like this program, like I keep mentioning throughout every single question, it wouldn't be what it is without the team that I have around me, the team of amazing people. And the last thing is don't be afraid to do things that are hard.
Yeah.
if it's like, don't be afraid. You can have the fear, but get past that fear and just do it. Like what Nike says, just do it.
Although we're not promoting Nike today. They've had enough promotion. Amazing. Thank you so much, Tuffy, for sharing your journey and your passion and your happiness and the obstacles of like up and down and the incredible, amazing community that you have made with Fierce and Fit Boxing. Can you let us know, let anyone here watching and anyone who comes across where to find you?
So first I want to say thank you so much for asking me to be on here. And even last night thinking about what I'm going to say and it's like and bringing me back to the roots of where I came from and why I got into what I did. You gave me so much joy for asking me to come
Aw.
on here and getting me to reflect on myself. So thank you so much for letting me be part of your goat podcast. And you can find us at info at fearsandfitboxing.com for the email, or you can go on the website www.fierceandfitboxing.com. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Fierce and Fit. And Facebook, it's Fierce and Fit 101. Instagram, Fierce and Fit Box. Anyone who's interested in volunteering in our program, just shoot me an email. I will give you all of the information and there's some really cool educational special needs courses on there. And anyone
Yeah.
who's looking to donate or support financially, you'll be getting a charitable tax receipt immediately after any donation. And every donation helps, whether big or small, no matter what it is, it's always put towards good use and towards our special needs boxing community.
Thank you. And I'll share all the links and everything after we get off here on the different social media channels and YouTube and that. So thank you.
I love
So for those of you that are,
your shirt, Lita. I love your button shirt.
thank you.
I see all the symbols going around that represent different things.
Yeah, I haven't fully
Love
highlighted because I've had a few people ask about, but since you pointed it out, so and it's opposite on the screen. Look, okay, the women obviously because we're female fighters, female boxers, right? Boxing, family because family is very very important. It's the foundation of everything. It's why the main reason why I moved to Newfoundland. Goats, because goats are social and emotional creatures. So no matter what's going on, they're always going to tune into your emotions and stuff and that. So if you need love, they're going to love you back. And then food, because healthy living and healthy eating, good input is good output. That's what my one client, Jen Lynch, keeps saying this week. So it's a great one. Good input, good output. Very important. And archery, because my dad, I grew up with a traditional archer, and then kettlebells because kettlebells are a really great strength and conditioning tool for fitness, striking, sports. And then where's my happy face? Because fun. We need to have fun because you never know. None of us are getting out of this alive, so it's important to have fun each and every day. So
Yeah.
yeah. So for those of you that are watching, please sign up or subscribe to our email list at buttonadventures.com. This January, I'm giving away the free goal getting guide here. Actually, for the winter, it'll be up there. So I'm giving away health and fitness coaching tips based on the greatest of all time coaches and courses that I've taken over the last 20 years. So helping you accomplish your health and fitness goals easily and with fun this 2020. So thank you so much, Cuffy, again for being with us here today. And thank you everyone for watching and your patience with a little bit of the glitchy streaming. Okay.
I hope my face is not like this.
Should be like that way. Okay.
And
All right.
subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Exactly. Hit like, subscribe, smash that button.
I watch videos and they tell everyone to push that button. And then I'm like, oh yeah, and I push the button.
Okay. All right. Until next week. I'm not sure yet who our special guest is next week, but I'll let everybody know as soon as that person is coming across. Okay. All right, Tuffy. And everyone
Bye.
have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Yeah.